Deepwoken's gonna be free for a week on May 1st, so this is everything you need to know as a new player so you don't get wiped. So the first thing you're gonna see when you get into the game is this creation screen. It's gonna be all your characters, and you can buy a new slot right here, 200 Robux. If it's a different screen, just click continue or play. Go ahead and load into my slot. Alright, so once you've loaded into your slot, you get to choose between Pathfinder and Valve Iron. Pathfinder is the normal game, and Valve Iron is like you go through bosses with different classes. It's a different game mode, so I'm gonna be choosing Pathfinder. So we got my character, I'm an adjunct. You can reroll your race or aspect for 150 Robux. Very useful site is the Deepwoken wiki. You can see what all races and every weapon is in the game. Very useful. So first we got the origins. Erisia, you spawn at Etris. Isle of Vigils, you spawn at Vigils. When you first start the game, you won't have Mini Tirsa, you won't have Castlelight, Diluvian, Voidheart, Miners, Chariots, or Fort Merit. These are the first two you start off with. Erisia and Isle of Vigils. I believe on May 1st there's going to be a new origin that's going to protect you from PvP, so you would choose that origin instead of these. Or for the video's sake, I'm going to choose Erisia. I'm going to keep my name as it is. Appearance, there's a lot of appearance changes you can do in this game. You make your character large, you can make him medium, you can make him thin, and be large, as well as you can change your skin tone, so you can change it dark, you can change it light. It's very good. As well as faces, there's many different faces you can choose from, and you can put any Roblox hair in here. Right now I have SAHUR. I'm gonna go and reset the hair real quick so I can show you the face. There's a bunch of different eyebrows. There's angry, there's these, a whole lot of different ones. So I'm choosing the angry ones. There's these tired looking eyes. There's these ones. There's a bunch of different customization you can do, as well as with mouths. There's many different mouths you can choose. There's smiles, there's angry faces, there's a lot, as well as markings and aspect markings. Aspect marking is what your race gets. So for Adrit, it's these markings, and markings are what everyone gets when they spawn in. I'm just going to choose to have no marking. For hairs, you can choose any Roblox hair. So starting weapons, you can start with all these weapons. You'll only start with these three: Stiletto, Battle Axe, and Sword. The others you unlock in-game and in the Echo Shop. The Stiletto is like a fast-swinging dagger that deals low damage. The Sword is a medium weapon that swings kind of quick and does medium damage. And the Battle Axe is a slow-swinging heavy damage weapon. If you're just starting the game, I'd recommend going with Battle Axe since it does the most damage early on. Next off, we got attributes. So these are your core attributes. You can choose these. When you first start the game, you're going to have race attributes. So you're not going to be able to change those, but it doesn't really matter too much. Strength increases your physical strength, armor pen, and carry load. Fortitude increases your carry load and HP. Agility makes you be able to jump higher, and you have more stealth. Intelligence gives you increased ether. Willpower gives you increased sanity and tempo. And then charisma increases your ether as well. In Deepwoken builds, you get 330 points. So I'd recommend going 100 into fortitude and 100 into willpower so you can get brick wall. It's very good for learning the game. Now these attunements. So attunements is basically your magic. So I believe the only ones you start off with is Gale Breath, Thundercall, Flame Charm, and Frost Draw. Iron Sting, Shadowcast, and Blood Rend you get later on when you unlock them in-game. I say the best attunement you can start with right now is Frost Draw. Boons and flaws. Okay, so basically boons are buffs and flaws are debuffs. I'd say that one of the best boons you can go is Steadfast because you keep more armor when you get attacked. So I'm gonna choose that. Survivalist is only good for Acid Rain and Upper Erisia. Sly you don't really need. Scrapper you won't be using when you're new to the game. Maverick, you can choose this to get more XP when you're alone, but if you have a friend in the server, you won't get more XP. So it's not really useful. Pack Mule, you can have a higher carry capacity, so that's pretty good. Or maybe you get more nutrient from foods. And Autodidact, it helps you level faster. So for when you start the game, I would choose Autodidact and Steadfast. For the flaws, Simple makes you prog slower. Blind makes you blind. Deficient makes your ether regen slower. Fugitive makes every faction hate you. Glutton makes you lose hunger and thirst quick. Hemophilia makes you bleed quicker. Manic makes you gain insanity faster. Obvious makes mobs detect you easier. Squeamish, whenever you grip someone, you lose food. And Vegetarian, you can only eat vegan food. The flaws with the least downside, I would say, are Squeamish and Hemophilia. You don't really need to care about these too much because they don't have much of a change. You'll need to choose one flaw per boon unless you choose simple. Next up is echo modifiers. So echo modifiers are things that just make the game harder, so you get more echoes at the end when you wipe. I wouldn't recommend using any of these unless you want to try to make the game harder for yourself. Anyways, onto the echo shop. The echo shop, you use echoes that you get from when you wipe. So let's say I beat a few bosses, I'll get like 50 echoes when I wipe. So we get resonance progression. You can upgrade this up to 20%, so you get your bell faster. Resonance rarity, it increases the chance of getting a legendary or corrupted bell. Mob armor, so this is basically defense against mobs. You get 8% tankiness against mobs, as well as 8% damage. Stomach capacity, you don't really need this, and there's capacity early on. Carrying capacity, you also don't really need this. I'd say pass down capacity is one of the more useful ones. So when you wipe, you usually can pass down a couple of items, but when you max this out, you can pass down, I believe, 6 items. Starting notes, you can spawn with 25 more notes, 5 more knowledge, and 2 starting aces. The ones you want to max out first, I'd say, is armor and damage against mobs, and then you can start working on your starting knowledge. Anyways, I'm going to spawn it. Now that I spawned into Etris, you won't have any of these starting tools, but I have them because I have the Echo Shop. Recently they made it to where you don't actually have to buy the training tools. You can just click these little arrows, so every time you get a increase in your level, you can click these arrows and it'll help you out. So starting out, you want to go to Erisia. So press M and this will pull out a map. Right now you're at Etris, this is Mini, and this is Lower Erisia. You're gonna go to little Erisia first, because it's a good way to prog when you do. I'm going to show you how to get there. Sometimes there's a rare event that happens, so it'll spawn. It'll be like Etris is on fire. I believe there is one right now. I'm not gonna do this, but there's gonna be NPCs they're fighting. And when you kill these NPCs, you get a full level up. But I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and run past these guys. They recently made it to where everyone that spawns in gets a boat, so you just press N and then you'll spawn your ship. I'm going to show you some mechanics of the game. So this red bar right here is your blood bar. Whenever your blood bar hits 0, you'll start losing your stomach and your water. When you run out of water, your screen will start going blurry. Same with stomach. When you run out of water and stomach, you'll run out of your blood and you'll start to die. Whenever you die, your HP bar will go stained. And once you die when you're stained, you'll go to the depths. Your posture bar, whenever you block things, your posture bar goes up until you get guard broken and it resets your posture. Your ether bar is how much mana you have basically. It's how much you can use your abilities. So if I have a mantra, it'll use 50% of my ether. So I can only use that mantra twice. When your tempo hits blue, you can press G and vent people off of you. So it's like an evasive. And this little bar below your HP is your armor. Whenever your armor hits 0, you'll have no physical resistance. Some useful things to know. This is your mantra bar. So you click here and you go to the mantra deck. These are mantras that you can get right now. So if I want Warden Blaze, I will click favorite card, as well as favorite card on this one, since we want those two. There is also one for talents. You click talents and talent deck right here. It shows you all the talents that are available for you to get. So let's say I want Fishman, I can favor that, favor Blood Iron Spirit, and favor Moving Fortress. Very good. This factions tab will show you all the factions that you have rep with. And statistics will show you how much playtime and when your character was created. So you're going to just head up to Erisia and see if there's any mobs. These little bandits will be sitting around. You can just kill them for XP and they spawn a chest. So most of them die in 2 hits from the battle axe, but if they come at you and they swing, you're gonna hit F or hold F. Holding F is blocking and pressing F is parrying. If you hit F as soon as they're about to hit you, it's a parry, and if you hold F when they swing, it's a block. There's also dodging. You press Q and you full roll. You can also Q and then right click, it roll cancels. Same thing with if you're ragdoll. If you ragdoll, you can press right click to cancel the ragdoll, and middle click or R is your critical attack, as well as control left click being uppercut. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit these NPCs. If you hit them from the back, usually they don't aggro immediately. I'm gonna press G, this is how you vent. As you see, it brings him away from me. Holding F blocks his attacks, and R is a heavy attack. So it's very good, and you get a chest. As usual, it has nothing good in it, just an AI stone, but you do get XP from this. So you look over here, we have leveled up our XP, so we can put fortitude, agility, anything. I'd recommend going willpower, fortitude, heavy weapon, strength, agility. You won't really need intel and charisma for early game. You can also increase your ice if you want to. So I'll go ahead and put my heavy up a little bit, and train my agility and fortitude. Now next you can go up to this little bandit camp over here. You press M. It'll be right around here. You see this gear cabinet, this smuggler. We're gonna want to go over there. So we're gonna climb up this wall. You can bounce off of walls if you run sideways like this. Dash up, press spacebar, and then do it again. The fastest way to move around is slide jumping and then air dashing. Now that you're at this camp, there's a bunch of missions that you can take. I'm gonna take a bunch of these. Now you press M, you can see where all your missions are. So it's telling me to go straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over. Shouldn't run. I see a few bandits over here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit them for XP. If they all aggro you and you don't want to fight all of them, you can literally just run away. Or you can bring them over to an edge like this. And then if you slide jump and then climb back up, it'll make them fall down there. I'm gonna just fight them. This little white NPC, he's the captain, so he has more HP. We get a little bit of XP for that, train our fortitude and our willpower. We just got our first level up, but there's NPCs here, so I'm gonna go and fight them. Alright, now that NPC is dead, I'll grab my chest. Legion Cestus, you get a fist weapon. I'm going to choose my hand. So every time you level up, you get this talent hand. And your HP bar, if you were stained, it will go to non-stained. You get your second life back. So red means it's a rare card. Rare cards, there's less of them. You get a certain amount of rare cards and common cards that you can choose. I'm going to choose Blood Iron Spirit, because if you see here, it gives me 5 HP. Moving Fortress gives me 1 posture, and Pack Mill gives me 10 carry load. It's gonna give you 3 of these, and then the 4th one's gonna be a mantra hand. So this is our mantra hand, and this is the mantra we chose before from the mantra hand. So we're gonna choose Warden Blades. We're gonna put it over here in my 2 key. As we go into here, this is gonna be Tower Struck, and this is where Acid Rain will rain down. If these quests are too hard for you, I'd recommend not taking the A Daunting Task. That'll spawn a Sharko, and if you can't fight Sharkos, that's pretty bad. The Clash of Empires, it spawns a couple of NPCs that you can fight. They're relatively easy. If you do come across a Sharko, it does a set of attacks, so it's a 1 swing, a 2 swing, or a kick, or this Coral Spear. Do you want to parry? So you want to parry, and then you can swing twice. Press Q to dodge whenever you see that red attack. Once again, parry, dodge. Pretty simple. Like parry. They don't really get a different moveset ever, so you can just hit them. And Sharkos don't have very much HP, so you can just kill them relatively easy. And then you get a bigger chest. You're probably relatively quickly when you're probably getting these quests in more Erisia. So this is where you're going to be fighting harder mobs in the Burning Snow Gardens. Or the Garden Reservoir. Big mobs like these golems will spawn in. They're pretty simple to fight. You just see this big beam and you dodge. I dodged and I got stuck. When he does a spin move, you literally just spam F. And when he's done, you just M1. This, you dodge. When he glows white, you have to jump. Even with this, you just parry. Really simple. Every red move equals dodge, because you can't parry it. It's a guard break. Most of the mobs are simple like this. And he's dead. So most of your early prog, you can just prog here with your friends. Going to these quest boards in the little bandit area. Now, let's say you die on a stained HP bar and you get sent to the depths. I'm going to show you how to escape the depths. So when you die on stained, it'll do this animation. You'll know you're in the depths. You just click continue and go to the depths now. Now when you make it to the depths, you'll be in a random location. You can press M to see where you are. I spawned in the city already. So where you want to go is the Cathedral of Interstice. So you want to go here to escape. Be careful in the city. There's these big monsters on top of the buildings that give you insanity and spawn angels on you. So you don't want to just follow where I go. You want to go to the gate. Let's say if you're on this side, you spawn at flat side. So this is where it's flat. And you're in Sultor base. Looks like this. There's a couple of boards. If there's a mob like a pteropod, you can just run away from it, or you can click the leave button at the top left of your screen. I'm just going to run past it. Now, usually there is a squibbo that spawns right here in this little area. So I wouldn't recommend going there unless you just don't care. But the safer route, you take this route, you go around the city into this gate. So go ahead and follow where I go real quick. These are the big monsters I was talking about. Don't go into the radius of their light, or else angels will spawn on you. You'll get sanity, like this. To get out of that, you just walk out of it. Usually there's going to be mobs on your way there, so you can just click the leave button, or you can just run away if you feel confident. If you feel confident. So now that we're in the District of Commerce, you'll see that by over here, and this sloped gate right here. As you can see, there's a slope going down at the gate. That's why I call it slope gate. You're gonna see this big gate right here. If I come up the building, is closed. So to open this big gate, you're gonna follow where I go. This building right here on the right will have a bell inside of it. You press E. This is a, I believe it's a broodlord or a brute. You're just gonna run past him. Doesn't really matter. You're gonna press E on the spell. It gives you a full heal if you're out of red combat. I'm gonna ring that one. And then the second one, I'll go back to the gate to show you. You go straight and left. It's on the left side of the big gate. I'm gonna jump up real quick. Climb this building. On this wall. And then it's in this building right here. I'm gonna show you. Press E. Now the bells will play and the big gate will open. Alright, now that the big gate is opened, you're gonna walk forward. Take a round over here, and then this is going to be the entrance to exiting the depths. So this is the elevator I was talking about. Usually there's a squibbo down there, so that's really dangerous when you're freshy. But if you press E, elevator comes up and goes down. Go straight, and there's going to be this big elevator. You pull this lever, and then you go up to the trial. Now that you're in this trial, when you're a freshie, level 1, you'll be able to go up for free. Now that I'm level 5, I believe there's gonna be a trial. The higher level you are, the harder it gets. So I believe when you're higher level, like level 20, so I believe when you're level 20, it's gonna be like a Sharko or a Enforcer. Just go ahead and press it. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the mobs that you fight on your level on the screen. But pull out your weapon and get ready. The NPC always spawns over there where the knocked over cage is. So this is a mud skipper. He doesn't really do anything, he just special. He just has a little weapon. So you don't want to get hit by this, you just want to keep parrying and swinging. He dies relatively quickly. You want to use your mantras like Frozen Servants. It gives you training as well as damage. You want to press T, you can also spit. Gives your posture and HP back. You just pop Warden Blades, it'll kill him really quick. NPCs don't really parry mantras that much, so pretty good off that. That sound you're hearing is because I have no ether. If I have no ether, then I can't use mantras. So as you see, my ether bar is at 2%, meaning I can't use these mantras. If you press V, you can carry people, and B grips them. And now I escape the depths. You can see my HP bar is about to go from purple to orange. There we go. Get a free mantra hand as well. Now if you look at your HP bar while you're in the depths, it's gonna have a little threshold, so it'll be half stand and it'll be half clear. What this means is you can void, like let's say you're in red combat, someone attacks you in the depths, you can jump into this void at half HP and it'll send you to layer 2. If you're below this 50% threshold, you'll wipe if you jump down into this void. If it sends you to layer 2, you can look up a tutorial on how to do layer 2. Otherwise, you should probably just wipe if you're low level. But let's say you do wipe. I'm gonna wipe real quick. And once you're here, it'll spawn you in Fragments itself. This little campfire over here. And you can buy back your build over here for 1,000 Robux or $10. You inspect it, try another round, make an offering, 1,000 Robux, you click it, buys it. Or if you want to wipe, you can go over here to this little well thing, little parkour real quick. And if you got an item you want to pass down, let's say I want to pass down something like this shield. I press E, I press 1, pass it down, and it'll pass down when I wipe. So wipe, you run all the way over here, pass the shrine, and then you talk to yourself, and then you wipe. And this is how you get echoes. Echoes earned, I got 3. This goes up when you do task in game. Alright, that's it. Let me know if you want to see something else in the comments, like a guide. Anyways, see ya.